Hey guys! So this is gonna be another video where I ask for your help because that's all I do on this channel because I'm not actually, my agenda isn't to tell you about my life or myself, it's mostly to learn and hear from you guys. So, if you've stuck around this long, you've probably figured that out, so I'm gonna stop explaining myself. Alright, I need some help. Basically, I was sick for a little bit. I don't know if you can hear my voice. I was sick for a little bit, and I was traveling for a little bit. So I took a small break off from writing the book, so I'm not super duper duper far. I'm 4,000 words into it, which is cool, but, I would really like to be, 8, 9, or 10. Hopefully by the end of the day I get to 5,000 words into it. I know that doesn't sound, you're like, 5,000 words, that's, not even that much. And I'm like, yes, I know. I'm a slow writer, though, and I'm, really perfectionist-y, so it's hard, it can be hard for me to get anything down, just because I'm, don't want to commit to putting it in Google Doc unless it's perfect. Also, my hair's a little nuts today. It's well, it was nuts last time, too. It's when I don't do it, it's just crazy. So today I need your help. I need you to offer me some recommendations of human beings who identify in certain ways. You are very much allowed to recommend yourself. The qualifications of these people need to be as follows. 1, they have to identify with one of the identities that I'm going to share in a moment. 2, it would be ideal if they had a YouTube channel. It is not necessary. They do not need to, you can recommend yourself. They don't need to have a YouTube channel, you don't need to have a YouTube channel, but it would be ideal because it would just be ideal. And when I say YouTube channel, I mean the definition of a YouTube channel is so broad. I literally mean you could have a video, that's fine. Or you could have 3 videos, or you could have 12 subscribers. That's not a big deal. I'm not looking to only get huge YouTubers at all. The point is, in the book, I want to have all of these definitions, well, not definitions, but some interpretations of identities. I hate using definition because it's as soon as you define an identity, you're saying this is how it is, and that's not true because all these I'm obviously a strong proponent of self-identification and all of these identities are decently subjective and open to interpretation. So anyway, the book hopes to do a few things. 1, offer interpretations for identities. So let's say abrosexual. Have you heard of abrosexual? It's pretty cool. It basically means, it can mean that a person's orientation or their sexuality, their romantic orientation, whatever. Abrosexual would be their sexual orientation. Abroromantic would be their romantic orientation. Abro, the prefix, means constantly changing, and that is what their orientation is doing. So maybe one day, it's kind of like being fluid, essentially. That's kind of it. So in the book, though, it would be explained decently more articulately, in a more articulate way than what I just did. So basically what I want is to provide definitions / interpretations of these words, of these identities. And then for a lot of them, especially the ones that are less common, I want to link some faces to them. Because it can be so easy to be abrosexual, that's weird, I've never heard of that, you're just making stuff up now. And it can be really easy to contribute to erasure and that kind of erasure and be doubtful of an orientation until you have a face to it. So what I want to do is ask people to contribute. There'll be moments in the book, and it's not for every orientation at all, but for lots of orientations I would like to have so blah blah. So for example, there's a portion of the book where I'm your sexual orientation and your romantic orientation do not have to align. And if you want to hear more about one person's experience with that, here's Brian. And then it'll be a blurb of Brian talking for 100 words. It'll be a short blurb. I'm thinking 100 words, which is pretty short. And if people can convince me enough, maybe I'll let them have 200, but absolutely not more than that. So the qualifications for these, so that's one of the reasons I want them to have a YouTube channel, so they can have a face. Because I want to make these identities more real to people who are doubting, and I think an effective way to do that is by giving them a face. So that's kind of why I want them to have a YouTube channel because I would link to it. Essentially, your YouTube channel would be like linked in a book. I want the book to be like decently integrated with like online sources, which is makes it more of like a workshop than like a book, which is like, I don't know. I'm gonna call it really cool and innovative and helpful, but also part of me thinks it's like kind of like kitschy and I don't know, gimmicky and internet-y, which I like. That's not why I'm doing it though. I'm doing it anyway. Whatever. I like it. That's what I want to do, so I'm gonna do it. Bloop 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 bloop. So anyway, I've written out a few. I've written out the introduction of the book, a lot on spectrums, a lot on orientations, and then I've actually gotten to the like meat of the book, the nitty gritty, where I am explaining like certain orientations. But now I've done so many that like I want to actually get people's stories in there. Like in there, because right now I just have like insert story here, which is like obviously can't say that way. So I'm looking for recommendations for people, and so again, oh, I'm so rambly. So again, they 1 need to fit the orientation I'm about to list. 2, it would be nice if they had a YouTube channel. 3, they have to be okay at writing, not like awesome, but like okay. And I would like it if they would write semi-formally, not like yo, like Foxy to Trot Magoo.google.com is here telling you that I love. Like, no, you have to be like, this is my experience, like in a, like, I don't know, kind of sort of formal, respectful way, but not like super buttoned up. You can be like relaxed, but just not like, I want them to write in a way where it feels like they're taking it seriously. So yeah, so those are like kind of the only, whatever requirements. So I'm going to list some of the orientations. I'm just going to list all the orientations I've covered. And I'm not necessarily looking for someone from every single orientation, but if you identify with one of these things, you have a YouTube channel, you feel like you're a good writer, you want to share your experience, it could be an interesting experience too. It could be more than, I identify this way. Or like, I do identify this way because I do feel like that. It has to go a little bit beyond that. You could be like, I identify this way, and at first it was hard for me because, but now I feel. Or you could be like, I identify this way, and one of the like defining moments in my life that I knew that was this. Or like, I identify this way, and one of the interesting experiences that happens to me a lot because of that is this. So whenever I like, you know, what is this called? Twitch. That means insert more. So anyway, here are some of the orientations, and you can, and I'm using the word orientation and not sexuality because I'm like, I mean, they could be sexual or romantic orientations. You could identify either one, and you can recommend yourself, which is totally okay. But you can also just recommend other people. So for example, like I'm gonna ask Gabby Dunn to talk about. I'm gonna ask Gabby Dunn if she would consider talking about why she likes the word bi instead of pan. So that would be like her like 100-word blurb. So if you hear something and you're like, want to recommend someone like Gabby Dunn or like anyone, Cat Black or whatever. If you just think someone would be a good fit, you can say that too. Blah, this video is so long. Okay, so these are the orientations. Are you ready? Here we go. We're getting to them. This is it. They come now. Just a second. Blue, blue, blue. Okay, in like no particular order at all. Asexuality and aromanticism. Homosexuality. Bisexuality. Okay. I'm going to say sexuality after them, but I also mean romanticism too. So, bisexuality or biromanticism. Pansexuality, panromanticism. I'm just going to say it like that. It's more inclusive. Bicuriosity. Trysexuality or triromanticism. I'm really interested in if someone identifies as trisexual or knows someone, that would be cool. So, that's a big one. Polysexual. Polysexual is a one I'm really looking for too, or polyromantic. And maybe specifically why you use the word poly and not bi or pan. I mean, they are different, but I want to hear why you think they're different. Also, I already said bicurious, but that's another one I'm really looking for. I want to hear someone's like experience being bicurious, like what it was like. Hetero or homoflexible. Abrosexual or abroromantic. Abro and hetero and homoflexible are two that I'm really looking forward to. Fluid, and just what a person's And I don't mean gender fluid yet. Right now, I'm just talking about like your orientation wise, your romantic or sexual orientation, what it's like to be fluid. You could tell, you can, and not just what it's like to be, but also like anecdotes are cool. You could share an anecdote instead of whatever. And then ace and arrow flux, and then pomosexuality. I really need one for pomosexuality because I am learning about this one actually. I don't even know too much about this one. So, not only am I looking for like help for the book, but also like some help for myself. So you have two options. You can either recommend your name, and or the person's name, or if you want to like super get my attention, you could put your blurb down in the comments. And I'm going to contact you before I use it if I use it, so do not worry. I will not just take it. I will read it, contact you, and ask you if I can put it in a book, and then you will consent or not consent, and that will be okay. So yeah. Again, looking for people who have stories or can write a quick blurb about what it's like to be. These are the ones I'm especially looking for. Bicurious, trysexual or romantic, polysexual or romantic, homo, hetero, flexible, abrosexual, fluid, ace and arrow, flux, pomosexual. Those. Okay. Goodbye. I love you.